Hey y'all, it's Tanya from Love of Family and Home, and today I'm working on a ruffled tree skirt for our Christmas tree. I kind of decided to switch things up this year, just with how I decorated our tree, so that meant a new tree skirt this year as well. I remembered seeing a tutorial out there a couple years back on how to make a ruffled tree skirt for your Christmas tree, and so I started researching and Googling and looking for tutorials, and there are a gazillion tutorials out there. I kind of went off of a few different tutorials to make our tree skirt, and I also consulted with my mom before I got started. She's a bit of a sewing expert, so she knows a lot more about fabric and that kind of thing than I do. What I used for the project was a duck cloth canvas. It was in a 2-yard pre-packaged thing at Walmart. It was $7.99, I believe, and then I used it to cut out the base of our tree skirt. I'll show you just in the way of pictures on the blog how I did that and how I got the circle base. So be sure to refer to the blog post if you're watching this from YouTube on how to cut out the circle. As far as the ruffle part of the tree skirt, I decided to go with a Ossenberg fabric. This was something that my mom had suggested that I use. It was $4.99 a yard. I bought it at Hobby Lobby. I did use the 40% off coupon though, so I ended up getting it for like $2.99 a yard. So I bought 4.5 yards total for the project. I still don't know if I'm gonna have enough fabric. I will let you know within the post whether or not 4.5 yards was enough. Starting to kind of dwindle down on my strips, so I'm starting to wonder a little bit if I'm going to need to make another trip to the store. Basically, I cut the strips into 3.5-inch wide strips. I bought 4.5 yards of the fabric. The strips were like 165 inches long, and I really didn't want to work with those long pieces. So I cut the strips just a little bit shorter, cut them actually into 55-inch strips. And the only reason why I went with 55 inches is just because I could get 3 55-inch cuts out of that 165-inch long strip. So that's what I decided to do. If you want to work with that long strip, that's totally fine. If you want to cut your strip shorter than mine, that's totally fine too. It's really not going to matter because once you start gluing them down, they're all just going to kind of be pieced together anyway, so you won't be able to tell tell it different. Just kind of wanted to show you how I attach the ruffles onto the duck cloth or the canvas. There's no sewing required for this whole project. All you're going to need is the canvas, the Ossenberg fabric, a hot glue gun, and lots of glue sticks. Okay, so we're actually zoomed in a little bit closer here so you guys can see a little bit better. As you can see, this is the back part of the tree skirt that will wrap around the base of the tree, so I left this part of the tree skirt open. If you go further up here, which you probably can't see, the front of the tree skirt is glued together. So to attach the ruffle to the tree skirt, basically, all you have to do is first determine where your overlap is going to be. So each layer of ruffle is going to overlap, or each new layer of ruffle is going to overlap the previous ruffle by just a little bit. So once you kind of figure out where your overlap is going to happen, and you can then figure out where you're going to need to start gluing. So you can see here that I'm going to start my line of glue here. So basically I'm just going to make a small little line of hot glue. And then I'm going to start gluing the ruffle down. So with the start and the end of the ruffle, I usually just fold the strip down a little bit just so that there's kind of starting with a ruffle. So I just kind of glue that down. And then basically what you're doing is making pleats with the fabric. So you're just going to kind of fold it a little bit and then kind of just push down and glue it down. So move this out of the way so you can see a little bit better. So you can see we've got just the pleat here, and it's just all attached with the hot glue. So you'll do it, continue doing that again until the whole strip is attached. glue down, kind of fold it, and then glue down again. And just keep repeating that process over and over again. And you can make your pleats kind of however, whatever size you want. I've kind of actually varied throughout this whole thing. Some of the pleats are bigger, like when I first started I went big, and then with the second layer of ruffles I went a little bit smaller with my pleats, and then I started realizing that I was running out of fabric, so I started going back to the kind of larger pleats again, just because it makes the fabric last a little bit longer. But basically you can't tell the difference at all in the pleats. They're all overlapping one another anyway, so there's really no exact science or exact method to follow. You just keep gluing it down, and I promise you, you will achieve the look that you're going for. So like I said, just keep repeating this process all the way down, and then when you get to the end of the strip, again, you're gonna kind of want to turn that under and then attach it to your fabric so that you've got that pretty pleated edge at the end. So that's just kind of a quick rundown on how I made our ruffled tree skirt for our Christmas tree. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any questions, just leave me a comment in the comment section below on the vlog, or you can shoot me an email at tdeal2005@yahoo.com. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.